sure that maybe this is something you could focus on if you want to start practicing Lalo. However, let's move to the next semi-final. It is Indian
Super Giants and Witches, which is actually really smart choice because this strategy allows you to like put your time into other strategies, because planning out an attack like this is not taking too long, which is, I would say, key, especially considering that those two, like the teams right now, have not too much plan and timing. But already in the beginning, he's finding the Tesla farm, which is going to deal a lot of damage. But at the same time, taking those out early is a nice thing as well.
It certainly is, and we talked about the attack order in the last attack, Itsu. I want to kind of pick up on that because we have seen 11 kicking off the wars a lot for Indian Clashers, but they've gone with Serial Killer here, who also tends to use the Queen Charge Lalo, and he has completely switched it up, potentially taking a leaf out of alternate attack spook. But I notice as well, though, the log launcher isn't necessarily used through the center of the base, as we've seen with the attacks by alternate. It's used slightly off to the side, but he's managed to open up that entire area that the Witches can move from the scattershot compartment here into the center. But there's a grounded expo that did not go down, Itsu, and that is causing huge damage. Interesting to delay the deployment of the Queen as well.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that was intentional or not. Not 100% sure. But the Giant Bomb, take a look at this Giant Bomb. This did so much damage to the Witches. And now with the Giant Bomb going off, this means all of the skeletons were gone, which means the Witches are without any protection. Finally, the ground expo is going down, but now it's all about getting the Town Hall. But this so far is not looking too bad with the skeletons going through that wall. Now we have the Queen taking down the Town Hall with that Royal Champion together. And it's all about the back-end multi-inferno tower. If he can take that down, that would be the key to the success right there. He can still freeze it, making sure that there's not too much damage. Now it's going to be frozen. And now it's all about the Royal Champ. Can the Royal Champ get this multi-inferno tower out of the way, Judel? That's the big question.
Can she do it? I think she will. Down it goes, Itsu. Queen has the ability, moves up to the top end of the base, but I think with 1 minute left, the Queen could easily get down to the Wizard Towers. RC takes the first one to protect all of these skeletons moving through with the Witches. Serial is starting this war out exactly as Indian Clashers needed. Like you said, overcoming some of the bases is what they needed to do. We know how defensive heavy both of these clans are, but Indian Clashers starting off in style with the 3 stars. And what is so amazing there is Serial normally likes to attack last in his team. Perhaps he just saw the weakness and went for it to put the 3 stars on the board and really just put that pressure on HT family right out of the gates.
Yeah, and I feel like that was the first time them using the strategy, right? I feel like they picking up a couple of the strategies, learning from the other teams as well. That's always something which is really cool to watch. The different teams like influencing each other with like the strategies, how they are building the bases, trap placement, things like that. And seeing like Indian Clashers switching things up is a huge thing. And so far, Indian Clashers with going the lead, they have done an amazing job with that. Always getting the pressure on early. Then in the middle of the war, sometimes they had like a couple of, it's a little bit of a low, I would say, but then they always finish off strong because one of their players are still is still perfect in the entire tournament. And this was one of the invited teams, which means they have played 1 match more than all of the other teams. So this is even more impressive to me. So let's see if this is going to go forward, especially now with HT family. They need the 3-star in early. As we said, both teams are kind of similar. Going into the tournament, like objective-wise. So getting in a triple early to make sure that the pressure is not getting too high, that would be big.
It certainly would, and I was just about to say, what type of attack will we see? We know that HT family like the air style of attack, in particular the dragons. It is the Inferno Dragon variant that we will be seeing. Oh, this strategy started off the tournament with a lot of success, Itsu, but I feel it really dipped in day 2 and 3, and we didn't really see much success with it. So this is a tough one to call. Let's find out. The skeleton traps come in nice and early on, actually activates the town hall there, which is interesting, having to freeze it again and again to allow the Inferno Dragons in, and the Grand Warden doesn't look like he's in range. Wow. Oh, he just moved across to the balloons. That was super important.
where can I get a warden like this? That was genius from this warden, making like this small step of flying a bit into the direction of the Town Hall Inferno Dragons and making sure that he's covering everything. Now we have the scatter shot on the bottom side. Nothing is going in there though, so this scatter shot is completely alone. Maybe the Royal Champion in there, that would be maybe a good choice, but either way, the Inferno Dragons are making their way slowly through the top side, getting into the back and Eagle, and we heard already a couple of times from the pro players how important it is to take down the Eagle, because this is one of the major defenses to defend strategies like this. And with one freeze left, Royal Champion still not even used, and a couple of the Inferno Dragons alive, I think, Judo, this is looking pretty good.
I think it does. Sometimes it's very difficult to predict this type of strategy because the Inferno Dragons kind of get caught in the middle, but you rely on your heroes to finish off the back end of the base. But the fact that he still has a couple of them helping the Royal Champion is fantastic. There goes the ability, and with the Royal Champion recuperating her health due to that, she will easily finish off the Archer Tower, bringing HT family level with Indian Clashers. And if you really want to talk about it in terms of attack time, I think this one might be a quicker attack, but we're only one attack in. I don't think we need to talk about that too much, Itsu. It is, though, both clans starting off with the 3-star, and again, a semi-final that is sure to bring a ton more.
Yeah, that was a great start for both teams, knowing they have already won 3-star on the board. And now it's all tied up again. I mean, maybe not on time, but I'm not sure if time is going to be the biggest factor at the end. But let's see. Either way, getting the 3-star on the board for HT family was a huge thing. And I mean, talking about the attacking order, I feel like, as you said, Indian Clashers mixed things up sometimes. We had Serial Killer most of the time, like he likes to go in last, and he did go first. On the other side, though, with HT family, they seem to always stick to a certain attack order, the same way as Tompin Empire or Alternate. We had always the same attack order, and I guess they're just going to do it once again. I feel like this is just something which you don't have to worry about. Like I said, those teams have around about 8 minutes to start with the first attack, which is they have to go through 5 bases, plan those, like get some plans, and then getting into the attack. So having not to worry about like who is going in first, second, whatever, always have the same attack order is something which is really, really relieving, I would say, especially for the team members who have to go in like in the middle of the war. So yeah, maybe a good choice. And let's see what Indian Clash is going to go in with next, and who is going in next, and if they're switching things up once again.
I feel like for the first attack, you really just want an attacker that is, well, fast in order to come up with a plan, but also specializes in one of the strategies that doesn't have as many finer details, like the super giant into witches. Now we have the Queen Charge hybrid from 11, who was successful with this strategy yesterday. And obviously a Queen Charge does require just that little bit extra planning. So let's see if 11 can keep the pressure on and get another 3-star for Indian Clashers.
Yeah, that would be great, getting this already the second 3-star. But at the same time, this Ground Expo looks really scary for the Queen. I mean, the Ground Expo can like shoot the Queen non-stop. The Queen never has the chance to reach that Ground Expo, except he's going to wall break really soon at that Warden. So maybe he's going to do that. Let's see. Yep, there's the wall breaker going. So if the Queen is stepping right, she could reach that Expo at the same time. Charging in between of 2 Expos is really risky. But it seems like so far the Queen is doing exactly what she was supposed to do. So really good Queen, as we just saw with the Warden. But the first Black Man is hitting, so he needs to make sure the Queen's staying alive. Right away, the Queen ability, now it's all about the poison and taking down the super minions. But the Eagle has different plans and taking down the healers.
Yeah, that is super unfortunate. He kind of needs his Queen to move over to that direction. I think that is the plan, so that his Queen definitely is. With another Rage spell coming in, the Queen can move over to the Eagle, take that down, and the enemy Queen to help the Hybrid later on. But if we are to shift our focus to the right of the screen on the Hybrid, it is slowly getting to the Town Hall. He has used the Warden ability because there's only miners at the Town Hall now. The Hog Riders have moved on forward, so miners can just duck under that Giga Bomb. Looking pretty good, but a lot of the troops moving to the outside of the base. He has to hope he can condense things onto the scatter shot, but he still has a heal and a freeze left, Itsu.
Yeah, that's not looking too bad as long as he's making sure the queen is staying alive, and that's exactly what she's doing right there. Now the world champion needs to take down the scatter. World champion taking that down, and now there's the king and the single frontier on the back end. This is not an easy task to go through, but with those two headhunters, maybe it's possible.
Yeah, the miners just got ahead of the Royal Champion as well, which is so important. I feel he used the Royal Champion's ability to get the scatter shot down and was one ping with the shield away from hitting the Inferno Tower, but he didn't need it anyways. A 3-star from Indian Clashers, and we've talked about how this war could be defensive heavy, but so far, non-stop 3-stars. What a matchup.
Those two teams, like, that is impressive. Like, that's the cool thing. I feel like those two teams got like better and better over the tournament, and this is something which is really important as well. Like, over the tournament, obviously, like trying to adapt what you might have been doing wrong in the beginning, and then trying to become better in that. And that seems exactly what Indian Clashers is doing right there. And now it's up to HT family again to like answer, to somehow make sure they're staying close to Indian Clashers, because we saw already in the past that it's so dangerous to give Indian Clashers a lead like this. They were able to beat a couple of the tournament favorites with this, always being able to kind of get the lead and then never let the other team come back into the match. So HT family really needs this next attack once again to 3-star and stay close to the score of Indian Clashers.
They certainly do, because as you've mentioned, we've seen it time and time again where Indian Clashers get the lead and they move forward. That's no doubt what has helped them to win the ESL Indian Championships twice over. And they have a roster now that has merged a lot of the top Indian teams to bring their superstars into this tournament. And I feel that is where we are really seeing the best of the Indian community. And they are within touching distance of getting to the grand finals. And I think this is a big move forward for the Indian Clashers team as well. Obviously, not quite making the grand finals last year, getting knocked out in the final of qualifier 4. So they are, like you said, continuing to improve. And I think they will just want to keep the pressure on HT family here. But we do have Izke, who has yet to 3-star. We did see that heroic rescue of the 2-star yesterday by him. But I'm sure he's wanting to spin things around and get the 3-stars in this one.
Yeah, and interesting enough, he's always going with the Lalo. Like, once he used the lightning spell in combination with Lalo, and then just the Lalo, like right now, using a lot of spells. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. And this entry, to be honest, is looking really, really good. Taking down the scatter on the left side, taking down the town hall, and now the clan castle troops as well. This is looking like a solid entry, and I think he's going to be happy about what his queen and all of the other troops got. The only problem which he has is he invested the poison already quite early, so now he needs to lure out the lava pups, making sure that the baby dragon is going to get rid of that. That's exactly what he's doing, and then in a second he can get started with the Lado from the top left side, or not. Okay,
Ooh, interesting.
I got debated.
Well, he used the Stone Slammer, though, to that side. So normally you use the Stone Slammer as a tank almost for the Lava Hound in itself. But I think he just wants that Eagle down early on with the Grand Warden's ability nicely used early. The balloons move into the center. Hopefully they can absorb some more of the bombs before the ability wears off, but they don't. How much force can he get moving through the base here? He's managed to froze the Queen and the scatter shot. He's got a lot of balloons moving to the back end of the base, and no more splash damage apart from that Wizard Tower, which did survive. Oh no, he put a couple of loons onto it, but they didn't get it.
Finally, the Wizard Tower is going down with this last haste spell. It is so many loons getting hasted into the back, and the dragon is still alive as well. And there are so many loons. The Inferno Tower is like dropping like nothing. And this attack is going to be an overkill 3-star. Like, this slammer was placed perfectly, even pathing into the core to make sure that at the end of the attack we have like a huge loot wave overpowering the back end. And this is going to be the first triple for Izke. And that was such an important one for the timing, because once again, this semifinal, we said it's all about defense, and now it's somehow turned in all like non-stop being 3-stars. Those two teams really nicely prepared for each other, and this is what it looks like when some of the best teams in the world are facing off in a semifinal match.
maybe it is all about defense and we're just waiting for that one base to hold up, because you mentioned at the start of the war that really it is about trying to get at least 1 or 2 3-stars against those difficult bases. The teams have already done that. Now, interestingly, I feel on the previous wars, Indian Clashers were able to hold onto the lead, like you said, even get a couple of 3-stars towards the end of the war. But for the most part, I think we have seen HT family getting their 3-stars at the start of the war and then holding out on defense. So it will be interesting to see whether Indian Clashers can pop up another 3-star later on, because as we've said, the 3rd and 4th attack is when we start to sometimes see things not quite going to plan. So I think this is where, how it's looking so far, the war is going to be decided on the next couple of attacks. Well, it most definitely is. But
yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I exactly know what you mean. So let's see what they're going to bring up next, because so far every single attack was such an overkill. They were so impressive plan-wise as well. And I got like a quick side note as well, because actually it's all about, not only you have only 8 minutes to like plan, but as well you have to give the attacking order after 5 minutes. Like, that's normally how long I take to go through all of the bases without even trying to plan on them. So those teams are doing an amazing work in like this quick planning and everything. And now we have the next attack once again coming in, and this is with Super Witches. Really like a famous strategy for all of those pros out there. And so far it was a great success, even though slowly people are adapting, catching on that a lot of people like this strategy and placing the Black Mines against this, because if you cannot keep your healers alive, then your Super Witches will have no chance, especially to the back end of the base.
Yeah, most definitely. I find it interesting that we see Piyush using this strategy, given that team captain Krish Vishnoi has got 3-3-stars this tournament with these Super Witches. So maybe there is another base that they feel confident with. Piyush is the only player at this point not to have 3-starred 4 Indian Clashers in the tournament. So if he does get a 3-star here, it could really spin things around, move his confidence, but the rest of the team as well, knowing that they can finish things off. The Grand Warden Walk did take out the Town Hall a little bit longer on time than we like to see, but the Super Wall Breaker went for the Builder Hut in that compartment and broke the wrong area. He's going to have to hope that he did have another Super Wall Breaker, thankfully. So yeah, I don't think it's too drastic there, Itsu.
Yeah, but he wanted to get into that skeleton compartment just to make sure that he can jump the back, and there's only one jump left, and now it's all about those Super Witches getting into the back, and because with just this one jump, he could enter the core, yes, but he will not be able to enter the back and the skeleton compartment, the multi-compartment. Instead, he's deciding to use the jump in the core, giving his troops access to the back and Sing Inferno Tower, vulnerability now as well, and now his own Royal Champion is getting placed into that multi after taking down the enemy king.
Yeah, I think he knew the Queen could reach the scatter, but maybe he was worried the Super Witches were going to walk there, because he could have used the jump spell in the original spot, arguably, but maybe he just felt the Super Witches would have walked if he didn't use it. He has managed to rip apart the core of the base here, Itsu, and with the Royal Champion taking down the back end of the base, it looks pretty good. He's used the freeze to protect her. He still has another freeze, probably for the scatter here. The Giant Bomb did not finish off the Royal Champion, so she can help with the scatter. With 30 seconds left, does he have the time to finish off? The RC is just moving around the base. Another beautiful freeze spell to protect the Royal Champion as she moves around. I think that was picture perfect. It could be the difference maker. 15 seconds now. As the Super Witches close in, it looks ever so more likely as Piyush gets his first 3-star of the tournament, keeping Indian Clashers flawless in this war. And are we going to see HT family just bat the 3 stars right back across? Because that's exactly what is happening here. Incredible.
I feel like us talking in the beginning, from defenses, and this those two teams are getting into this stage of the tournament because of their defense. They were like, we will show those guys that we are not only all about defenses, we can crush bases like any other team out there, and that's exactly what they're doing right there. So many great attacks, and as you say, especially the members which so far have not been tripled. in the tournament are stepping up, making sure they can get 3 stars in as well. On both sides, we now had players getting their first 3 stars in, and this is so huge. And now it's once again back to HT family, hopefully answering once again with another 3-star, because this match so far is incredible and really enjoyable to watch.
It still could go either way. Any of the teams could move to face alternate attacks in the grand final. And interestingly, Itsu, when we asked all of the teams who they wanted to face or who they looked up to, every single member of HT family said they wanted to go against alternate attacks. So they need to keep the 3 stars coming in with this war. If they want that to happen, the tornado trap next to the town hall, but it's not going to be too drastic here with the rage spell. He did have a giant bomb there as well, which does damage. Can he get it with the Yetis? Oh, the final Yeti got it!
That was so close, making sure that he's getting that town hall. That was such a nice bait. Maybe this one Tesla being 1 tile further into the town direction to make sure the Yeti mites are going for that instead of the town hall. Either way, a great bait, and making sure that at least ICU is sweating a little bit, because that one was a close one. And now we have the Queen Charge going for that top side. Not sure if that was planned, that he wanted to go in and enter in there, but so far looks great. The Coc are doing an amazing job. Now it's all about getting in there, because so far it looks like the Queen is going to have a different plan. Heck are going to go in with those Super Wizards. The Queen slowly is following as well, and this entry is looking perfect.
He placed the jump spell there, and the P.E.K.K.A. did not know what to do. It was moving into the base, out of the base. It's still doing the same. Finally takes out the cannon, moves on forward to the center of the base here. We have seen the Chinese community smashing bases with this P.E.K.K.A. Smash variant. Not necessarily from HT family as much, but ICU is the only player that is currently flawless for his team, and it's looking pretty good at continuing that streak, Itsu. With 1 minute 30 left on the board, Queen's ability, Royal Champion's ability, a freeze spell, and pretty much no defenses left.
What is going on? 2 jumps and the entire base is gone with the Queen ability, as you said, still not even used. Yes, the magic cleanup Headhunter still to place with 1 minute left. This base is just gone. I mean, in the beginning, yes, it was a little bit close, I would argue, about the Town Hall going down. But after that, flawless execution, making sure ICU is getting the next 3-star. And this match is, I mean, it's 9 stars for both teams out of 3 attacks. I don't know what to say. This semifinal is amazing.
I wish I had been tracking the attack times as well, so I had some kind of idea who was in the lead, because remember, it all comes down to stars, percentage, and then the average attack time as well. And at the moment, none of these teams wanting to get knocked down into the 3rd place matchup, both of them giving everything they have to get into the grand final. And so far, you have to say there has not really been a single slip up in this war. And it's right back to Indian Clashers. I mean, they are 3 for 3 right now. The hit rate across this tournament has just skyrocketed in terms of their average. And yet they are still hanging in the balance of not quite dominating this war. I mean, how do they feel? You know, you've been in that situation, Itsu. How would you feel if you are just getting the 3 stars and your opponent is continuing to do the same? What's going through your mind during that stage?
I think it could be worse, to be honest. Like, for example, like things on your own going wrong. So I feel like as long as you can keep doing this, like keep getting the 3 stars in, it's all okay. Like at the same time, you're getting a bit like, what is going on? Like, are our bases that bad today or something? Especially for those 2 teams, they normally have like received really low scores on defense, so that might be a factor. But at the same time, I think as long as all of the 3 stars and everything are like going right, I think they're completely fine with this. And now we have the blimp, and the blimp is getting targeted by the air defense, and the blimp is not making it into the export compartment. That's where he wanted to get the blimp in. I really have no clue why he used that invisibility spell there. I feel like it made sure that the blimp was targeted by the air defense, and with this, the Hound did not tank for their blimp anymore. And now instead of getting like the scatter shot, the X-bow, sweeper, eagle, all of those great things, and the clan Casador, instead he got just the scatter and 1 extra. I don't think that this is how he planned this out.
No, definitely not. With the amount of spells invested, it was an interesting move. I'd love to find out what was going through his mind there. Using the invisibility spell, he redirected the Hound, and I just don't think he foreseen that. Saab did get a 3-star with the Dragons earlier on in the tournament. It is the only 3-star he has received, so maybe he can spin this around with his Dragon attack. But with that Eagle surviving, it's definitely not looking pretty. The Royal Champion could be deployed into that area, but like you said, he's going to have to wait till the Clan Castle going down. Town Hall now activated. The King pulls the Hound anyway. It seems to be going from bad to worse here for Saab.
Yeah, and now the Dragons are at the town hall, getting rotated into their town hall by the Tornado Trap. And take a look, like this Tornado Trap was designed to catch the Yeti Blimp, like a Blimp in general, for example, in combination with the Dragon attack. So they already thought, okay, HT family thought maybe the Clashers are going for the Dragon attack, and that's exactly what they did. That's how scary it is. Like, that's how those pro teams are getting into your head. Like, this is pretty scary, like, predicting out of this. But now we can see that this attack is going to be rough to be a 3-star. I don't think so. The Queen ability has to be used. The Royal Champion ability already had to be used. And at this point, with the single front tower and the Tesla and the Warden being still up on defense, I think this might be the first fail in this crazy matchup.
Look at how close he is, actually. If the Blizzard had have actually done its job, this could have been so much different. And we do see the first slip-up, as you mentioned, in this war. It is not the 3-stars for Indian Clashers. It is arguably a low percentage, given the average we have seen across the tournament. HT family have their opportunity to take the lead indefinitely now, put things into their side, and really, I mean, it's always tough to see when your plan just doesn't quite come together, but you need to be on top form every single attack when you have an opponent that is just throwing the 3-stars at you. And HT family now maybe a little bit more nervous, given that they have an opportunity to pick up the 3-stars and take the lead. I'd be interested to see whether they can control things now, given that we know this 4th attack tends to be where the hit rate is a little bit less impressive.
Yeah, I feel like, though, that Indian Clash is way more nervous at this point, because that was the first time they failed. HT family yet to fail, so I feel like HT family is really relaxed at this point, because even if they fail, as long as they get like around 90%-ish 2-star, they still are in the lead going to the last 2 attacks. And one thing which you already mentioned is this 4th position is so cursed over the tournament. Like, we saw it already now many, many times that players in this 4th position somehow seem to do like mistakes which aren't common, don't really fit the right plan for a certain base. So really, whoever's in this attack position, I feel like if a team can get a 3-star in this attack position, it's already a huge advantage, which sounds kind of funny because it's about the attacking order, which sounds kind of like not that important. But at the same time, the stats are showing it, and now we have the next attack coming in. This is another smash. So let's see if there is the 3-star coming in. The Cocoon is doing a great work of triggering or like scouting for any possible black mines. It's all about this blimp now taking down the Inferno Tower and obviously taking down doing out the clan castle as well.
Well, it looks like he has achieved both of those objectives, making sure to, well, clear out that entire area, actually, which means the Rage Spell was a pretty good investment. Now we see the... I can't even tell. It's the Queen that's deployed there. It's very difficult to see. But it is the Queen that's deployed behind the Lava Hound, and the Grand Warden is hidden behind the healers. I could hear the Grand Warden sound, but I couldn't quite see him. Anyways, he can finish off the Lava Hound in this top area. Like you said, he's already got access now down towards the Town Hall to drive all of his troops into that area. And 2 jump spells. We've seen how devastating this was in the previous attack by HT family. If he can get this right and get the Warden ability perfectly timed. There it is to protect all of the balloons moving forward. 1 black bomb goes off, 2 black bombs to protect the healers and the tornado trap, but it's rotating the troops down over. Will they take the jump spell? Pops the King's ability to try and force them across into the center, which it should do nicely at this point, Itsu.
Yeah, this looks once again so great with the double jump spell, making sure everything is having this access to the back end, the single infantry at the top side. That's most likely where he wants his troops to finish off, because we have the P.E.K.K.A. redirecting, going for the multi-infantry tower, and then all of them together growing a group up, get into the back end king. And that's the important thing now, getting this king down. We have already the royal champion at the bottom side, helping his own king. And his queen, though, has usability, but still, we have a couple of P.E.K.K.A. alive, which are tanking, but all of the healers are already gone. And this top X-Bow did an amazing job of taking down so many healers, and obviously dealing a lot of damage to the queen as well.
He's got that one super wall breaker. I was just about to say he could get it right into that area to help the P.E.K.K.A, but the P.E.K.K.A goes down anyway, so arguably super wall breaker didn't really do too much. He's got 2 free spells, but a ton of defenses left over here. RC ability goes off. The percentage is climbing. We have to keep an eye on that percentage, because it looks like HT family, even if they don't get the 3, will have the higher percentage here, and that could be the difference maker. Moving down into the last attack, the X-Bow locks onto the Skellies. That's a pretty good thing, because it means the RC can continue through the defenses here. She's taking a lot of damage. She will go down. Queen about to go down as well, but Jin Mu with the 93% 2-star might actually have done enough here, because it's a higher percentage than we just seen from Indian Clashers, and it means if both teams were to 3-star, HT family would be winning it.
I'm just saying, cursed position. That's all. Like, always the 4th attacker. I feel bad for them. Like, they have no chance to overcome this curse. But yeah, it's all about now the last 2 attacks coming in. And as I said, HT family having the lead on percentage. As long as they can get the 3-star, they're going to win this matchup. But at the same time, like, if Indian Clashers are going to 3-star the next attack, like, there is an incredible amount of pressure on the enemy team. And I'm really looking forward to see if they can handle that, because we saw already a couple of teams which, like, fall under this pressure, especially with being the last attacker. So he knows, like, if he is going in, there is no one being able to save the match if he's messing up. So Christopher Noy has a good chance of putting a lot of pressure on HT family and making sure that they have a good chance of winning this matchup.
This is exactly what I was saying before when we did see Piyush attack with the Super Witches, that I would expect Krish Vishnoi to also use them, given the fact that he has 3-starred every single round with this attack strategy. So now is the time for the Indian team captain to step up. Interestingly, I always find it fascinating when we have a player that plays on their phone rather than a tablet, because for me, I just cannot coordinate my attack. So Krish Vishnoi sitting right now, shaking in order to try and get this 3-star and put his team through into the finals. And the Grand Warden Walk has been nicely set up, Itsu, to take down the multi. And then we will be seeing these Super Witches momentarily.
Oh
no!
What?
What?
What is going on? There was... Please, no. I mean, it's looking like it because nothing else is happening. Oh, no, there's the sneaky goblin.
Oh, no.
And he's still not...
Why didn't he
Now
rage?
he's freezing. Why is he not raging? Yes, 3 rages. That's really, really surprising that he has not invested any of those. I mean, the fun on the right side is now happening, but maybe that's because he's playing on the phone and maybe he was not able to, like, find the... to be honest, I have no clue. Either way, let's take a look. Eddie can save this. We know already. Super Witches are not that much relying on the Warden ability as, for example, other strategies. So it's not the end of the world. Great Goku Runes already getting the first Black Mite out of the way. And now it's all about the back and getting into that. And the Super Witches entering the core.
I was just about to say, maybe Krish Vishnoi does just feel like he needs the Rages for the Super Witches to power through the core, because we know it is a slow attack strategy as well, with only 1 minute and 10 seconds left and only 50% on the board. He needs to hope that he can speed things up here. The Super Witches getting caught with the Clan Castle troops, but they are slowly moving through. Freezes the single target Inferno, does have a Rage spell, and the Royal Champion yet to be deployed, but there she is from the 12 o'clock area. Maybe she can swoop down to the scatter shot. That single target Inferno really doing a number, but the Super Witch just about takes it down. Itsu. Eagle Artillery falls. He's got a couple of balloons coming in, and this now looks pretty good for Krish Vishnoi.
Wow, how did he save that? Royal Champion taking down the last building, which is important. with that mortar. And now there's like over 25 seconds left with only 2 buildings on the board. Judo, he somehow managed to get the 3-star in. Maybe, as you said, he said, okay, he wants to have the rages, even though I cannot believe that. I mean, rages, yes, they are great and everything, but I feel like the warden ability and the core, especially with facing like maybe a hound or maybe like in this case, super minions, they do so much damage, so you want to have the warden ability in the core. Either way, he just says, I don't need that warden ability, I'm just going in. I'm just going in with that rages. And there it is. 14 stars for any Clashers. This already sounds like a crazy star amount. And considering that they still have not won this match just yet, and they still have to wait for the HT family attack to happen, is showing what a crazy match this was. So let's see if HT family are going to like fall under the pressure, or if they can somehow concentrate and just keep pushing it through.
Absolutely. Krish Vishnoi is a man that has captained his team to 2 Indian titles and has allowed them to get 97% here. They couldn't really do too much more. He's managed to get the 3 stars with the Super Witches in every single round of this tournament. The pressure that HT family are under here. If a 3-star is achieved, they move to the grand final, and Indian Clashers would actually be able to face off against Tompanai Empire. Interestingly, Existence were the team that beat Indian Clashers in qualifier number 4, but we're speculating too much here because Fire is in with the hybrid and everything is on the line. He is also one of the players not yet to have 3-starred for HT family. Can he pick it up for his team and give them the victory?
Yeah, he has already done Queen Charge Hybrid once, and so far, as you said, he was not successful just yet. Let's see if he can make this work. So far, the Queen Charge looks interesting. Not sure if he wanted to charge in there, because I'm not a big fan of charging into those big components, because it feels kind of like under control, because the Queen can go left, right, up, down, wherever she wants to go, and you do not have as much of an impact. Now he needs the Headhunter to make sure that he's getting in there, using the wall breaks to later on make sure the Queen can get into the next compartment. And this now looks pretty solid, but once again, it's all about where the Queen is going to go in next, because she could get distracted by the cannon or by the Wizard Tower, which are in the same compartment. So let's see what exactly she's going for, because so far it looks like she might get distracted now by the Queen. He has to freeze that. Perfect freeze. Now the Rage, making sure he's keeping his own Queen alive. And now it's all about this Queen making the right choices. And so far, Judo, this looks like a really, really clever Queen, going to the right direction, making sure she's taking out the scatter next. And there is already the hybrid starting.
Yeah, he's managed to control the Queen pretty good. She has stepped down towards that area, but hopefully the hybrid is in quick enough that it can force the Queen back up and around towards the top. Notice he still has a super wall breaker, which could come in really handy to get towards that single target Inferno. Hybrid moving down over, though. He's got the King and the P.E.K.K.A moving in towards the Town Hall, but all of the Clan Castle troops about to engage. Grand Warden's ability will be used soon once the troops approach the Town Hall, but a lot of things redirecting to the center here. He is still going to be able to get it, but a brilliant Grand Warden ability actually protects the troops to the Town Hall and the center. With the RC ability, the heal spell, the wall break does allow the Queen towards the single. I think Fire has done this. What are we witnessing?
It is his first 3-star in this tournament, and all of the players who have not 3-starred just yet are somehow stepping up. Swag the heal in the core. He knows already if he 3-stars, this is going to be a win for them. He doesn't care about the time, and this is the 3-star for HT family, and they're going to move into the finals, meeting alternate attacks over there. And this means we have later the next match going on with Indian Clashers facing off against Tompanai Empire.